Okay, this is my audience. It is disheartening to see that our education is usually the first to be eliminated if schools are making cuts. I wholeheartedly do not agree with this plan of action. One of my biggest fears in life is that I would not be interested in art in the future. I fear that my time will be swallowed up by school, a job, family, or friends, and none of it will be left for art. And this has happened to me throughout my high school career, but having an art education inspired me to keep going. I cannot imagine what it is like for students who do not have the privilege of having an art education because, as the popular phrase goes, school kills artists. And so as I grew, I realized that I wanted my creative side to always be there, no matter what career I have and no matter how hard life gets, I want to do art. I did not want to fall into the seemingly common trope of a person losing their interest in art as they age. And I don't want this for other artists too. So today I give this speech to myself and others as an encouragement to never give up on art and for schools to always provide an art education. Throughout my journey as an artist, I realized that art teaches you 3 things that should be present in your life: patience, creativity, and self-expression. How does art teach patience, you may ask? And to that I answer you with a quote by film director and theater professor Brittany S. Harris. She said, "Being an artist is about mastering the craft of patience. No matter what age you are, there are going to be things and people that push your buttons, and there are going to be things that you want to rush through, and patience is what will get you through them." Patience is not something that is easy to learn, but doing art is a start to practicing it. Art is patience. It is almost impossible to go from drawing a stick figure one day and creating a masterpiece the next day. It takes time to grow as an artist, some shorter or longer than others, but still it takes time. Even with more experienced artists, art is about patience. You start with an idea and through bits and bits you see it through. Being patient with your art allows you to recognize your mistakes and then grow from them. This can reflect to your real life because living a fast-paced life means you will never take the time to recognize where you can grow. Diego Rivera, Mexican muralist, once said, "Mistakes are opportunities for beautiful creations, for the most beautiful creations." By having patience, you can acknowledge your mistakes and you are able to pay more attention to the details. And it allows you the ability to experiment. This can be done in both art and life. A notable art piece that took patience was created by Michelangelo, and it is the Sistine Chapel ceiling painting It took a total of 4 years for him to paint 5,000 square feet. His patience allowed him to illustrate legendary Bible figures in elaborate poses. Even mastering the skill to paint like him takes time and has certainly paid off because it's such an iconic piece. Origami is also a notable Japanese art form that requires patience and precision of folding paper to get the perfect outcome. Moving on to my second point, art teaches creativity and self-expression. It is no surprise that doing art unlocks creativity for most people. It is a gateway for expressing ideas, emotions, and different perspectives. It gives you a chance to express your imagination and emotions, whereas many parts of your life may not allow it. An example of this is the popular painting, The Scream by Edward Munch. Munch created this piece to represent his own anxieties in life. When you look at this piece, you can see the anxiety and fear it represents. Sometimes school itself may feel like it does not allow you to express yourself. Often school encourages students to focus on core subjects, math, science, history, and literature. And although these subjects are important for the future, art also is valuable. Art teaches creativity, which then teaches problem solving. Real-world problems do not always have cut and dry solutions. Many times they require creative thinking. Sometimes you have to find creative ways to paint over your problems, just as artists learn with mistakes or issues they come across. Geoffrey Canada, American educator and social activist, once said, "You have to think outside the box. Stand back and think about what we can do creatively. We have to do that to push the field forward." And T.D. Jakes would agree by saying, "Big ideas come from forward-thinking people who challenge the norm, think outside the box, and invent the world they see inside rather than submitting to the limitations of current dilemmas. Do not stop when faced with problems. Find creative ways to work through them." Circulating back to why art education is important, art is literally everywhere. Art can be found in any subject taught in school. Art is the design of a laptop. Art is the paintings we see on walls. Art is the architecture of buildings. It's everywhere. Ken Robinson, author and orator, Ken Robinson, author and orator, said you can be creative in anything in math, science, engineering, philosophy, as much as you can in music or in painting or in dance. Something that appears so consistently in the world should be taught in schools. Art is everywhere because people are everywhere. Even if you do not think so, everyone has a bit of creativity in them, and schools should embrace this instead of repressing it. Artists should not give up on themselves, and nor should schools. Art may not seem like it is valuable to some people, but has shown to teach patience, provide an outlet for creativity, and provide an outlet for self-expression. Art will always be everywhere, and it is something that no school or institution can suppress. Art is a great outlet for your emotions, allowing you to express yourself creatively. It encourages self-reflection, allowing you to understand yourself more. It teaches discipline, teaching you that it's okay to take time. It encourages you to explore and experiment with new things. It connects you to the world around you, and even if you don't see it's there, it's definitely there. So be creative. To wrap this up, I would leave you with a final quote. Any form of art is a form of power. It has impact, it can change, it can affect change, it can not only move us, it makes us move. Thank you.